the last episode, I took delivery of my new to me 2013 Mercedes-Benz Sprinter van. I spent the weekend removing the cabinets from the back, taking out the floor, and cleaning out the sawdust. I used an adhesive remover to get off the decals from the previous owner, but it left a heavy ghosting effect, which became my mission to remove this week. When I bought my Sprinter van, what I told myself was like, I would rather pay less money for the Sprinter van and do more like elbow grease or just put more sweat equity in it to make it really, really nice, as long as there was no major mechanical issues or rust or something with the frame or the body, anything like that. So that's basically what I did here. So I have not seen many people who are building a van do this, just largely because I think it is so time consuming and it's not really applicable to everyone. I am basically gonna buff the entire Sprinter van, and that really involves two different steps. First, using a clay bar to go over the entire van and remove any sediment or like basically little granular things in the van amongst the clear coat, and making it basically a smooth and kind of like ready to go, almost like a prep phase for the buff. And then once I've effectively used the clay bar on the entire van, it will then be ready to take a proper like orbital buffer and literally buff the entire van out. Probably won't be the most entertaining thing to watch, but I think it could be useful to some people. Even if you're looking to buff out your car, this will apply to you as well. It doesn't even have to be a van. What it is, it's literally a bar of clay. It looks like a bar of soap, and it usually comes with some sort of detail or lubricant. You can honestly use soap or water, and really all you do is you make the clay bar malleable, kind of knead it out. You're gonna take your lubricant, whatever that is, and you're gonna spray it onto the surface you want to use the clay bar. Then all you're gonna do, effectively like no pressure, like just use fingertip pressure, you just take the clay and you just go back and forth. Basically just switch at 90 degrees and now just go up and down on that same area. Because the clay is so adhesive, it really pulls up all of that junk from the van. And you won't really notice any big changes like with the paint or how it looks, but it's, like I said, it's basically a prep stage for the buff. So this is a very crucial stage to do. Not too entertaining, but it's gotta be done. So it's just all part of the process. I guess we can try to knock this out before it gets dark. Just ordered a big T-vent window to go right here on the slider. It's gonna be really, really nice when we be able to open it up for like ventilation and stuff. So I don't really have to worry about anything on here because this is all gonna get cut out. And then I also ordered two back windows to go here, here, and here. So again, I don't need to worry about the decals. That's what you can still see on there. I wanna show you guys just how powerful the clay bar can be. I'm at like the top where it's super, super gritty. So I just sprayed this area down. Look at how it just lifts up all this dirt. See that? How cool is that? Look how much it just pulls up there. It's literally streaking down. That's the power of the clay bar. Good morning, guys. It's about like 6 in the morning right now, and I want to see if I can crank out the rest of this clay bar thing that I showed you guys last night. Basically have this whole side to do still. I'm gonna see if I can crank that out really quick, and then I do want to try to go to the gym. They just opened up my gym. Not much has happened since I was at the gym. I am still working all day, so when I got back I basically just worked all day. I did manage to come out here and like around lunchtime, and I did rip out the last bit of the van with the clay, so all the claying is done, and now I'm on to the final stage, which is the buffing. Now the main goal of me buffing this, which is why I'm doing this whole step in the first place, and is why most, probably 95% of people aren't gonna buff a Sprinter van, is because when I took the decals off, it left behind like this nasty ghosting basically, so you can still see where the decals were, you can still see what they say, and really the only way to get that off is to buff the vehicle. Now to buff a vehicle, you're gonna need really two main things. One, a buffer of some sort, and then some sort of compound to help penetrate the clear coat of the car. So I have a friend who is a professor, a body shop professor, a body school professor. So he does this for a living. He's very, very good at it. And he recommended this Meguiar's M105 compound. This was not cheap. This was about $37 for this whole thing. I picked up just a 10-inch orbital buffer from Home Depot, which was $34. So literally this compound is more than the buffer itself, but I think the compound is really where a lot of the magic happens. So if you don't have a strong compound, the buffing might not be as sufficient. So here's basically the extent of my knowledge and what I'm doing. I take my compound here, I have my orbital buffer here with a clean bonnet, which is important, nice and clean bonnet. All you're gonna do is take your compound and put about 5 to 8 quarter-size drops onto the bonnet. That's about 6. I kind of blotch it onto the surface first. Now I try to work in about 2 feet squares, 2 feet areas. It takes a little while to get the feel of how the buffer works, but once you do, you just want to work kind of the same way we did the clay. That's about it. And when you touch it, you can feel it. It's way more chalky. I can already see right now that it's completely kind of buffed away some of the ghosting. I'll probably do this a few times just to make sure I get all this gone before I add the protectant sealant wax layer, basically to seal this all back up. I did that probably about like 2 or 3 times to just like really make sure that there's no ghosting left. I kept looking down the side of the van, I could see that there was no more of the ghosting left. So the last thing what you need to do, because basically once you buff a car, you effectively kind of break the clear coat, you essentially remove the protection. So if it were to rain or something right now, it would really stick to the side of the van, things like that. So now what you need to do is basically need to seal it back up. So what I'm doing is I'm taking, again, just Maguire's a cleaner wax, it's a paste wax, and I'm just putting it on an applicator pad. And really all I'm doing is I'm just rubbing it onto the area that I just buffed out. I'm doing it in this way so I can show you guys the whole process, and I'm just gonna try to go around and crank this out as fast as I can. I was not even sure how well that was gonna work, but it completely took any ghosting off. And so now this literally looks good as new. It's super smooth. I just want to like put my face up against it. It's so nice. I didn't get an actual quote, but I'm sure a van like this, if you were to bring this to a body shop and get this completely buffed out and detailed by them, it would at least cost $500. If not, probably more like $1,000 just for the size of it and things like that. And I'm literally all in right now. I'm less than $100 between the buffer, the compound, the clay kit, the wax, all of that. I'm probably right around 100, probably a little bit less. So I'm literally doing it for literally a fifth or even a tenth of the cost. And hopefully I can crank through this. It's getting cold, it's getting dark, but can't let that stop us, you know what I'm saying? A pretty unbelievable sunset going on right now. Super orange clouds. It's gonna start to get interesting at this point. I'm putting the floor in this weekend, as well as strapping it and getting it ready for the wiring. I just really want to make sure my layout is where I need it, so I know where to put my strapping and how to design my floor, insulate it, all that good stuff. You guys will see that in the next video. So, with all that being said, thank you guys for watching. I will see all of you guys in the next one. Take it easy, fam. Peace out. Woo.